Okay. Based on our discussions from last lesson, I think you would agree that if I ask you to solve by graphically doing those drawings, it would take forever. Okay? I'm asking you to do it once, but you guys were actually pretty fast at that. It was slow before because you'd never seen it. But there, you told me what the y-intercept was, put a dot, then what do I look at next? The slope, then you draw the line through it, then you draw 2, and then you see where it crossed. So you actually got faster. Here, there's 2 algebra methods of solving simultaneous equations. So the one that I'm teaching today is called solving by substitution. You use it when one or both of the simultaneous equations has the variable as the subject of the equation. What do I mean by that? X is equal to something, or y is equal to something. When x or y are written by themselves, this is when I use it. So we could have actually used that. We could use solve by substitution on that question that we just did. What are the steps to it? Substitute the right-hand side. Actually, before I go on with that, what does substitute mean in general? If I was playing a sport, if you're being substituted, what am I saying? Yes?
Swapping, pretty much.
Swapping or replacing. This is the same in maths. So solving by substitution is replacing one by the other and then solving. So step 1, substitute the right-hand side of the subject equation into the other equation. Use brackets for this. Step 2, expand brackets if needed, then solve for the variable in this equation. And then lastly 3, substitute the variable you find in step 2 into either of the simultaneous equations to solve for the last. Once again, this is just like those steps that I gave you on Friday. You would have been sitting there going, what the hell does all that mean? And then when we actually do an example, you see what the steps mean. So can I just ask you to get the steps down, and then we'll do an example to show how those steps actually work. Need to go find Mr. F in the right. Shake his hand.
Was he agreeing for the other team?
So he was wearing the same. We were holding hands. Yaji.
Was it black?
Sorry, question? Which bit?
The bit after IE, was that even said?
Here, i.e. written as x equals something or y equals something.
I can read it.
I understand that it's not written in there, that's fine. I'm not sensitive about that. All I ask is that you appreciate that I did spend the time to write it. Because if I just made a PowerPoint presentation, I wouldn't have to put the effort in to write it. If you can't read something, ask me and I'll sort it out for you. I'll give you minutes. A few minutes for that. I still got lollipops left over from the other day, so later when you've got a second go. Yes, question? Could you turn off the echo? I almost said your name. It was so close. I was like, thank you. It's like blowing directly on you. It's like the Antarctic. One more minute and then I'll show you those steps. Because those steps don't really mean anything until you see how they're applied. Please don't swing your chin. These little bits in red are just helping you think, like my thinking through it, but you don't need to write them. Yes?
Oh, no, in my head it's
Which of these equations is written with x or the y as the subject? Which is the one that has y or x by itself somewhere? The top or the bottom? Top. So which has x or y as the subject? This is just your thinking. when you're actually doing this problem. You can just imagine it, you can see it in your head. So now that's step one. I need to decide which is the subject equation. So you decided this was a subject equation. So step one is substitute the right-hand side of that subject equation into the other one using brackets. So what's the right-hand side of this? 3x minus 1, chuck it into brackets. That gets substituted into this one here. So this is telling you what y equals. It's not telling you what x equals, so I'm going to rewrite x plus. If I jam this into here, it's going to be bracket 3x take 1 equals, what's the rest of this equation? This tells me x plus y equals 3. So I just rewrote. I rewrote it, but what did I replace? What did I substitute the y with? I substituted the y with what this equation is telling me y is. Now let's deal with the brackets. Can I do anything in here? Is there any solving that I can do? I know 3x, I don't know what 3x is, so I can't really take 1 from it. Do you think there's anything we could do with it?
If you open the brackets, it will be 3x minus 1, so then you could 3x plus the x.
You're skipping ahead. What I'm asking is like, can I do anything with the bracket? There's no more information that I can get, so I get rid of the brackets. X plus 3x take 1 equals 3. If I've got an x and another 3x, how many x's do I have? 4x. Did I do anything with a take 1? So you leave it. See, this looks familiar. It looks similar to what you've had before. How do I get rid of taking 1?
Add 1.
So 4x is equal to 4. What's 4 doing to x? Timesing, so I divide. So this situation, x is going to be 1. Is that the answer, or is there more to it now that you're a year 2? I know what x is, but how many variables are there here? There's 2. I need to find y. So you're not done yet. So unfortunately, every year, when my year 12s get up to this, especially in their tests, they freak out. People do weird things in tests. And they answer the first one perfectly. And then I'm like, bro, what's y? So now what do? I could go through that whole process again. But you know what x is now. I can substitute that in. What's step 3? Substitute the variable you found in step 2, which is x is equal to 1, into either of the simultaneous equations. You're Ignite. You're smarter than this. Which is the harder looking equation? This one or this one?
This one.
Top or the bottom? Okay, you got me.
Bottom.
The bottom one's easier because it's just something plus something's equal to 3 versus that one. Don't waste your time substituting this into the harder one. Look for the easier one. Because that's telling me x plus y is equal to 3. What did we just say x was? 1 plus y equals 3. What is the opposite of positive 1? Y is going to be 2. If you've got time to flex and check it, what is 1 plus 2? Is it equal to 3? Yes, sir. Okay. Did you have a question?
But the top equation is easier because 3 times 1
You can
times
argue.
1.
You can argue. Okay, let's do that. Okay. You can substitute it into either. As long as you do correct maths, it's going to tell you the same answer. So you're telling me that in your head, y is equal to 3x take 1 is easier. It works differently. 3 times by 1. What is 3 times by 1? 3 take 1. What is 3 take 1? Is that the same?
C.
Can you get that example down? I want to do an actual one from the year 12 book so we can flex on those year 12 books. That'll be faster than doing it graphically if you get confident with that algebra. Right now, probably the same. I'm going to shift these over so no one misses out. But can someone behind there tell me, can you see that white on the board in the
Yes.
camera? It's like all the way here.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've got what you need, actually leave some space. Try this question, literally from the year 12 book. It asks you to solve by substitution. If my boss wasn't over there, I'd literally show you the actual year 12 test. We'll answer actual questions from you. I'd have to rewrite it anyway, but you got 2 years. try answering it, see how you do. You don't have to get it right, we're practicing it. It's meant to be in blue, my bad. Simultaneous is shown by the brackets, x take 3, 2x plus 3y equals 16. So this is slightly more complicated, but it's the same process. I was kind of scared that Casey would lose and I'd be on the video wearing this, but yes sir, they won. Huh? I was getting ready to get roasted out there. There was a bunch of year 12s when I was on canteen duty making fun of me. 49ers go! Not today. I wrote up the example. Let's call this example 2 then. I'll just tell you the steps. Step 1, which one of these is written as the subject? The top one or the bottom one? Top? Good. What is the top one? You're going to be on YouTube video saying the S word. Which variable is the top one telling me it is? Is it telling me what y is, or is it telling me what x is? It's telling me what y is. So I'm replacing y here with x take 3. So let's write that. 2x plus 3. This is where the brackets come in. X take 3. Why do you need the brackets? Because this 3 is multiplying all of y. Is y a little complicated? Y has a few bits to it. So I need to chuck it in brackets so it's all multiplied. Equals 16. What have I done here? I replaced y in the second equation with what y is being told to me up here, x take 3. Let's remember back to some earlier year level maths. How do I expand these brackets? What do I do with the 3 and the x? Multiply, so it's going to be?
3x.
Someone else, you tell me what the 3 and the negative 3 gives me? Negative 9 equals 16. How many x's do I have on the left hand side? I have 5 x's, take 9 equals 16. Someone else? What is the opposite? How do I get rid of taking 9 from something? Add 9. So 16 add 9 is going to be 25. How do I get rid of timesing by 5? Dividing. So x is equal to 5. Is that the answer in full yet? I need to know what y is. Which is the easier looking equation? The top one? I'd say the top, because there's multiplication involved here. So I'm going to chuck x into this. Y is equal to 5, take 3, y is equal to 2. Just double check. If y is equal to 2, 5 take 3. Let's check it for this one. 2 times by 5 is 10. 3 times by 2 is 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. Can you get that example down, please? That is a year 12 question. You've already answered part of the timeline if you're doing year 12 general maths. I'm going to stop the recording.